Hello and welcome back to my channel. For this card, I am making a birthday card using this Friends with Fins stamp set from MFT, along with some other MFT products. So I have stamped out a shark, a orca, and a blue whale, or at least that's what I made the whale. To start with, I'm using some warm grays for my shark, and when I'm coloring this one, I was doing something I don't normally do. I was kind of leaving a little bit of area for a rim light or whatever. I didn't color it any differently as far as colors, but I did make it lighter there. And I know when I first started making videos, and for years while I was card making, I always used lightest color into darkest color. And here, I kind of started off a little bit dark, and I've been doing that a lot lately. I guess I'm just getting more comfortable. Right now I have R85 and R89 for the tongue. I'm keeping it dark towards the back, lighter towards the front. And now I have a C8 marker, and I'm just going to color the rest of the mouth in with this cool gray, just to make it look like, it's kind of dark in his mouth. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of color to the white part of my shark. I'm using C1, C0, and then I'm going to blend that out into white with my colorless blender. Moving on to the orca, I have C2, C5, and C8. Now I really need to replace or buy a refill for my C5 marker. Here I'm doing the exact same thing I did with my shark. I'm going in with my darkest color. I was being very bold here. This card's actually for my son's birthday, and I don't know if that just made me a little bit more free with it, because, he gets pretty creative with his stuff or what. Not sure. But I'm moving my way to the lightest color, and then I kind of go back and forth with the lightest color and the mid-tone to get it to blend out well enough. I did have to bring in my white gel pen to clean up the edges a little bit because I did get a little bit messy with my markers. I'm going to use this really light warm gray just to add a little bit of color to the white spots on my orca. And then I have my B90s, and I'm going to use these to color in my blue whale. Doing the exact same thing I did with the other two. I actually went in with the darkest color first. I haven't really spent much time coloring these images, so I really wasn't sure how I wanted to color them, but I'm not mad with how they turned out. To add some color to the belly of the whale, I'm using BG 70 and 72, and I'm just kind of using the lines that are already drawn to kind of add a little bit more shading to them to make it look more ridged. Now here I have Uncharted Mariner, Salty Ocean, and Tumbled Glass Distress Oxides. Excuse my camera just moving away like it has any business to. Alright, I have this stencil. It's Make Waves from MFT Stamps. And I'm going to start with my darkest Distress Oxide. And I am going to ink the waves all the way up my panel. But I'm just going to keep the darkest to about the bottom third. I'm making sure that I alternate the waves so they don't look all the same going all the way up the panel. I'm also going to ink the bottom. That way it doesn't look too stark white. I just repeat this process with the Salty Ocean and the Tumbled Glass. Next, I have this Sunray stencil. This is actually a Lawn Fawn stencil, but I know many other brands have one similar. I'm taping it to my panel so that I can ink some sun rays in the water. And I'm going to do that with some unicorn pigment ink. Now, the reason I did the sunray stencil over it was because I felt like the water looked a little too, like you're looking down at the top of the water. But I wanted it to look like you were under the water. So I was hoping that this would help a little bit. Now I'm going to take some clean water and I'm going to spritz the top of my panel all over, and I'm going to mop up the excess water with the dry paper towel. This is just to make it look kind of bubbly, like it's underwater. And this, I am inking up the top just a little bit more. This was done after the panel was dry. Now there were 2 different clusters of fish in that stamp set that I used. So I am taking both of them and I am going to stamp the little fish clusters in various places on my background panel using the same inks that I inked up the panel with. So for the Uncharted Mariner, I'm keeping to stamping the Uncharted Mariner fish on it. And then for the Salty Ocean area, I used Salty Ocean. And for the tumbled glass, you can barely see them, but I also used tumbled glass for that. Now for the main part of my sentiment, I have used an alphabet die set from Lawn Fawn, and I cut out the words, or word, fantastic. And for the rest of the sentiment, I am stamping it in Uncharted Mariner, and it'll say, have a fantastic birthday. And I believe those words also came from one of the Lawn Fawn sets. To add a little bit more interest to the background, I am taking some clear Nuvo drops and I'm making little bubbles here and there on my background. After that, my card is complete. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back with another video soon.